Hey, what is up, everybody? I am here to give you my Raw review. It's been a pretty long couple of months since I've said that, actually. Yeah, it's been a couple 2 months. Um, the reason why I stopped doing Raw reviews is the same reason if you've been watching the other videos why I stopped doing the NXT, the SmackDown, and all the other reviews is because I started doing the Massasoit Wrestling Corner, which I'm gonna post the annotations to that right here, and I figured, if I was gonna give my thoughts there, what's the point of doing like a separate review by myself? So I figured, I just do the Massasoit Wrestling Corner. Um, but since we're done with that for the semester, because the semester ended, I um I am gonna be back to doing solo videos again. Um, I mean, I don't think you're not. There's gonna. I did give the other members of the Massasoit Wrestling Corner the password to this channel. Well, I mean, I'm gonna give them the password to this channel if they want to post separate videos solo of themselves. And we're gonna try to every once a month to try to all get together on a hangout or something and give a video so that way when we come back in the fall, we don't have we're not gonna be all. It's not gonna be weird doing like talking about a crap load of stuff. Um, I might see if we can do one. I don't think we're gonna do that anytime soon, just because only been a week since we haven't posted anything. I think maybe we'll do it, in like the end of the month or something. Um, but yeah. So this is good. That was why I haven't been doing a wall review, but I didn't feel like making the video last night because I was tired from working last night because I work landscaping, and if you guys have landscaped before, it physically just drains the emotions out of you. To be honest with you, when I was writing my notes last night, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this. When I was writing my notes, I don't think you guys can see that, but I usually number them like 1, 2, 3, 4. From somehow I went from 4 to 10 because I was that tired, I guess. So my notes are not very good. But I find doing the Massasoit Wrestling Corner made me realize that I don't really made me look at the show in a whole different perspective, because I feel like when I would do the Raw review that night, I never really looked at the show as a whole anyways. I always just kind of would just talk about it, and then at the end I would just kind of give my opinion of what I just talked about. Here I can go over my notes. I can several times and just judge the show. And from now on I'm gonna be doing that. You're not gonna get it on Monday nights. I find 2-3 hours of watching Raw and then having to do a video kind of drains me in a way. I kind of like to start fresh. So from now on, you're gonna get it on Tuesdays. You are gonna get some sort of video on Monday. I am gonna post another video schedule kind of thing to kind of balance out, since I'm gonna be back on a regular schedule because I'm not in school anymore. And from now on, by the way, because I always find out if there's a tag team or something that nobody knows about, I always have to say who's in the tag team. Here, I'm not gonna do that anymore. I am going to type all of my notes that I have taken into the description box so you guys can follow along and try to make this video a lot easier. I even am going to put my overall grading of the show in the description box as well, and so you guys know what I actually think of the show. I'm still going to say it in the video, but I'm just going to put it in the description box. I'm just trying something new here. If this fails, then I won't ever do it again. But yeah, let's just get to Raw, because I'm kind of tired today from working. I actually have been putting off this video for quite a while. Okay, so for Raw, this Raw happened on May 11th, 2015. We had JBL, Michael Cole, and Booker T on commentary. JBL's on commentary all night was atrocious. To be honest with you, there are points where I feel like muting the TV because of the commentary. It's that bad. That's like the one reason I like to call my friend and talk to him during the shows, because then I don't have to listen to the commentary. So then it opens up. We see a limousine pull up, and we see Triple H comes out. He returns. I was pretty happy about that. Because we haven't seen him in a while, so I guess I was happy to see Triple H because he's the guy that should be running the WWE anyways, so why not, right? So then he comes out and cuts a promo. He talks about, this is so weird, because on the Massasoit Wrestling Corner, we've been comparing the relationship with the Authority with Kane and Seth Rollins like Triple H is the dad and they're his sons and they're trying to get him in order. Something like that. And that's exactly what Triple H said in his promo. So I'm like, I wonder if Triple H is watching our show. It's a possibility. So I thought that was kind of cool that he said that. But yeah, that's pretty much what he says. So he calls out Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins comes out. He whines and cries about how Kane put him in this Fatal 4-Way match. And how he says, look, I know you and Kane go a long way back, but this isn't the same Kane from back then. And he says that he doesn't think that Kane's services as director of operations are no longer required. Then Kane comes out. Him and Rollins start arguing. Kane says that I could just choke slam you right here and right now. And he says, what, yeah? And he's like hiding behind Triple H. He's like, what are you hiding behind Triple H now? So then Triple H says, enough. And I loved it when he screamed it too. He just did it so good. And he tells Kane that he doesn't think that Seth Rollins is right. Seth Rollins is our future, and you have to be taking care of our future. And he does mention that at Payback, that if Seth Rollins doesn't win, he's going to question. Or he said that he might consider firing Kane as the director of operations. And he does ask Kane if he wants to continue on forward, if he wants to part ways silently. Kane, he doesn't really say anything, so that means he just wants to do this silently. So Triple H then says, good, then to show that you're still loyal to Seth Rollins and the Authority, you're going to have a match tonight against Roman Reigns. And then he puts Seth Rollins in a match in the main event against Randy Orton. And Jamie Noble gets on the mic and he says that it's not fair because Seth Rollins has a big championship match this Sunday and everybody's against him. And this is the future of the company. So then Triple H makes fun of him by saying, oh, you guys are still here. I didn't even realize you were here. And he's like, let me get down on your level so you guys can hear me. Because at first he says it and what he's about to say, then it's like, let me get down to your level. And he tells J&J Security, which is, well, actually, I don't need to say that. J&J Security that he's going to, that they're going to be in a 2-on-1 handicap match against Dean Ambrose. And last night it was in Raw was in Cincinnati, I believe, and that's Dean. That could be wrong though, and that's where Dean Ambrose's hometown. So the crowd was really loving Ambrose here during this whole segment. Actually, they were chanting Ambrose, so that says something right there. So then Dean Ambrose comes out, and we get that match. I thought it was a solid match, very predictable, but I still thought it was pretty decent stuff. Dean Ambrose bounces I believe Noble's head on the announce table, and then Noble J&J Security tried to throw Dean Ambrose in the ring, and then Ambrose slides out and does a double clothesline on him over the announce table. I thought that was awesome. And then J&J Security dominate Ambrose for a while. Ambrose makes a comeback, hits the rebound double clothesline on him, and he throws Noble into Mercury, and then he hits Dirty Deeds on Noble for the win. So I thought this was pretty solid stuff here, even though it was predictable that Dean Ambrose was going to go over. I still liked it, and the crowd obviously was really into it because it was Dean fucking Ambrose, their hometown guy. So I thought it was pretty decent stuff. Alright, so then it shows a please don't try this at home ad. Now the reason I'm mentioning this is because they were very clear this time. I think it's because of that situation with the 18-month-old kid and the 20-year-old with the whole last ride situation. So you expect to see much, much more of these. But this time they were very, very clear. They didn't say it like they normally would. This time it was very loud this time when they said, don't try this at home. So then we get Dolph Ziggler versus Ken Barrett, and we had Sheamus on commentary for this match. Now, I don't remember if Sheamus cut a promo or not during this match. I don't really remember. I remember Sheamus coming out, but I don't remember if he cut a promo at all during this match. Um, so I could be wrong about that. Um, but we did find out that we're gonna get Dolph Ziggler versus Sheamus in a rematch at Payback, and then Ken Barrett comes out. Pretty much has been saying the same thing that he's saying, that he's a kin, and you guys have to say all hail Ken Barrett. And then he talks about Neville, the guy that Gravity forgot, and he says that Gravity will forget Neville no longer or something like that, because he says that this Sunday at Payback, he's gonna take down Neville. So I think that was a match added to the pay-per-view, but to be honest with you, my friend on the phone wouldn't shut up, so I couldn't really hear it. But I'm just gonna check. Well, but when I do my payback predictions on Friday, because that's when I'm gonna do it. Um, I'm gonna I'll make sure I'm assuming it will be there. So then we get the match between Ziggler and Barrett. I thought it was a solid match. Really back and forth. Barrett dominates Ziggler throughout much of it. Ziggler hits a Fameasser, and then he's getting ready to put Barrett away. And Sheamus gets on the apron, Ziggler knocks him off, and Barrett hits a bull hammer for the win. And then that was about it. I thought it was pretty good stuff. And then afterwards, Sheamus attacks Ziggler, just starts slapping him around, and I thought this made Sheamus look really dominant here. And then Ziggler starts to fight back, and then Sheamus just gets right back up and lays out Ziggler with the bro kick. And then he walks out and looks like a badass. I thought it was pretty good stuff. It made Sheamus look really strong. I thought it was decent. And Sheamus's hair wasn't in a mohawk this time. It was just combed down. So I thought that was pretty cool. So next we had Erick Rowan with Luke Harper versus Fandango. This match was been very long. And JBL made a point to say that it was going to be a very long. Because he was like, I bet Fandango wouldn't last too long. And he kept counting. And JBL was really annoying on commentary during this match. It really pissed me off. It just did. But Erick Rowan wins, I believe, with a full Nelson slam, and then afterwards they continue to attack Fandango, splash him in the corner. Harper hits a clothesline on him, and that was about it. But it's cool to see Harper and Rowan back together as a tag team, and I really, really hope that that they destroy the New Day, and take the tag team championships from them. The New Day, by the way, consists of Kofi Kingston, Big E, and Xavier Woods. But I really hope that that they destroy them, take the tag team titles from them, mainly because I would like to see any team but them hold the tag team titles. But I really hope that's what happens. And I'm just liking it so far, you know. They should. I personally think that when the Wyatt family broke up with leader Bray Wyatt, when Bray Wyatt set them free, what should have happened was they should have just been a team all along, and then you just have Wyatt go on his own. But I don't get why they didn't do that. So then we get John Cena's United States Championship Open Challenge again. John Cena comes out. He cuts the same promo pretty much he's been cutting about the U.S. title. Well, he says he's gonna make Rusev quit, and he's gonna have that face off with him tonight. And then he says that the U.S. title is the most important belt. The only thing that he said different in his promo this week was he talked about how the WWE World Heavyweight Championship has to be protected, that it can only be defended on certain occasions, and only certain people can go after it because the authority likes to keep these people down. And John Cena says that that's not how he feels about this title. This title, he feels like anybody can go after it. It can be anybody from Raw. It can be anybody. It's an open challenge, and that's the beauty of it. And he says that he's considering on canceling it tonight because he has to do this face-off with Rusev, but he asked the WWE Universe about it, and they vote, and they cheer to have it, so they have it, and who accepts none other than Neville. I thought this was really good stuff, yeah, thought it was good stuff. They have a match, and it was really good. Neville dives on John Cena. John Cena hits his shoulder tackles on him, and then he hits his, the 5 moves of doom, that little flip move he does, the 5-knuckle shuffle, and then Neville does like a flip moonsault. I don't even know what to call this, like a flip moonsault right onto Cena. I thought it crushed him. What else happened? Neville hit an Inseguri, and then Cena hit like an AA on him, and the thing that really looked I think this was kind of a boss because it didn't look like Neville landed right when he hit the AA, but he kicked out. Cena hit a wicked clothesline on Neville, and what I like about a guy with a clothesline is if it's a guy if they do it to a guy like Neville or a guy like Seth Rollins, um, is sometimes they can like make themselves spin and they'll just like, make it look like that they'll land on the head and they like break their neck. I think that looks awesome. Um, and that's what happened here when Cena hit the clothesline on Neville, and Neville really sold it really well too. He looked like he was really out of it too. I thought that was awesome. Um, Neville hit a roll up on Cena. Cena kicked out. Um, Neville hit a crossbody. Cena kicked out of that. Um, and then eventually Cena tried to go for the AA, and then Neville powerbombed John Cena, which looked really cool. And Cena kicked out of that because he tried to go for the AA off the turnbuckle. And then afterwards, Neville ended up hitting the red arrow on John Cena. And then what happened was Rusev came in before Neville could pin him and attack Neville, which caused Neville to win by DQ. But Cena keeps the title because a championship changes hands due to a countout or a disqualification. And he kicks Neville right in the face. Then afterwards, he gets Cena in the accolade. And then when he lets go, the weirdest thing was the camera cuts to Cena, and you see John Cena say something. This always happens to John Cena too. It seems like it's either his fault for not hiding it really well, or it's just the camera's fault for being there at a bad time. Because I noticed too that it always catches it. Because wrestlers have to talk in the ring to know what moves they do. And sometimes you can see John Cena doing that, or sometimes you can just hear John Cena doing it. So I just think that kind of is really interesting. But I don't know what Cena was saying though. I'm gonna watch it back maybe and maybe tell you when I do my SmackDown review or something. But Rusev lays him out. Obviously, Cena's gonna go over at Payback and make Rusev say "I quit," and then Rusev will become nothing more than just a joke because or not a joke, but the way Ryback was in 2014 before he got injured. I have a feeling he'll be something like that. But overall, I thought it was a pretty solid segment, and it made Rusev look really strong. So I thought it was good. So then we were supposed to get Corporate Kane versus Roman Reigns, but Roman Reigns comes out through the crowd, does a little entrance, and Kane just attacks Reigns before the match, beats the crap out of him, throws him into the steel post, just starts beating the crap out of Reigns, and then Reigns tries to fight back. He rams Kane right into the barricade, just starts beating the crap out of him. Then Kane fight back. He throws him back first into the apron and the barricade several times, and then Kane is tearing apart the announce table, and he's gonna chokeslam Reigns through the table. Actually, one spot too is Kane threw Reigns over the steps too. I forgot to mention this, and it looked like Reigns caught his knee on the steps. I forgot to mention that, but yeah. Anyhow, Kane's tearing the announce table apart, and Reigns powers out of the chokeslam. He hits a Superman punch, and then he spears Kane right onto the table, which looks sick. It would have looked more sick if they had broken the table, but it didn't happen. But I'm not going to harp too much on that. I thought it was solid stuff. The only thing that didn't make this solid was my body was starting to tap out during this segment because of work. And that's really what hurt it in this segment. Like I was kind of getting to that tired stage, but I really got to the tired stage once this segment happened. Overall, though, I thought it was pretty solid stuff. Now they're gonna have a rematch on SmackDown, and this time it says that there must be a winner, so the only way to win the match is by pinfall or submission. I'm assuming Roman Reigns is just gonna go over in that match. So then we get Brie Bella with Nikki Bella versus Tamina Snuka with Naomi. They cut like a little promo. I really didn't really get to hear what they said because I don't know, I just forget what they said. But I think they said the same thing pretty much on that they said on Raw. Well, on SmackDown last Thursday. Overall, I thought it was a decent Divas match. I think we found out that Nikki Bella is going to defend the Divas title against Naomi. Um, and what happened was Tamina Snuka hit a super kick for the win, but it was a pretty solid Divas match. It didn't last too long, which I liked, but yeah, I thought it was decent. I'm liking this whole stable with Tamina Snuka and Naomi, and like I said on my SmackDown review, I hope this leads to the Usos, Jimmy and Jay joining up with them, and they do like a Samoan Dynasty type of group, and you add Roman Reigns to the equation as the leader. But something that I haven't said yet, and I don't know, this probably won't happen, but it would be cool if you could get a manager for this group, and I think the perfect manager would either be Rikishi, Sika, or Superfly Jimmy Snuka. Your best bet is Rikishi because he's not as old and he can probably handle Trav into each and every show. I don't really think Sika or Superfly Jimmy Snuka could, but I think that would be awesome if you got Rikishi to manage them as a heel manager and you had Roman Reigns with the championship as the leader. And I think I would build to this to like Survivor Series. I just have it Roman Reigns do it as a shock right out of the blue, and you have the Usos return. It would make sense. You have the Usos who have been faced for a while. And I have a feeling, and I think this would really be good for the Usos because it would change up the characters. Because I feel like that if they come back as faces, it would be kind of bland. And I think that the Usos should align themselves with Naomi and Tamina Snuka. If they are gonna stay face, though, I do think that the Usos should at least confront Naomi about her heel turn and ask what happened to her. And then Naomi sends like somebody down there to lay out the Usos, like the Ascension, Connor and Victor. I don't know, but I think I just really want to see the Samoan Dynasty stable because the WWE's been putting up a Samoan Dynasty, um, for a while. They've been talking about it. Rikishi talked about it in the Hall of Fame speech, but they'll bring it up. They've asked Roman Reigns about it, and I think if you do a Samoan Dynasty group and have this heel turn, what I think would be really awesome is if you. I'd rather see this match than the match that they want to do at WrestleMania 32. Is you have heel Roman Reigns as either as the champion or just himself versus The Rock at WrestleMania, and you have Roman Reigns beat The Rock 100% clean, and you just establish Roman Reigns' dominance, and you establish the Samoan Dynasty's dominance. You have like cousin versus cousin or whatever. Yeah, I think they're cousins, and I think that would be awesome. It would really put Roman Reigns over. And I actually think that it would make Roman Reigns interesting too if you do this Samoan Dynasty group. Um, I just think it would be a great idea, and you can get the interest back in the Usos. It would get I mean, I don't know why they wouldn't do this. It's a win-win situation. I could see why they wouldn't do it with Roman Reigns, but they definitely should do it with the Usos because I think the Usos need a character change, and this would be the perfect character change. They don't need, if they do it with the Usos though, I wouldn't call it the Samoan Dynasty. Just I would just have it be the way it is. But if Roman Reigns does get added to the equation, you pretty much have every member of the current roster that's in that Samoan family except for Rusev. And you can even add Rusev to the equation too, actually. Because then that actually would help Rusev out a lot. Because if you think about it, you have Rusev, and this could change up his gimmick really fast. And you have Rusev, and this would not bury Rusev. This could make Rusev look really strong. I think it could be amazing stuff. And I think the Usos would need to change up the look though if they do this Samoan Dynasty thing. Cause guys, I mean, I don't know why I said dude. Force a habit. This Samoan Dynasty thing really should happen now. I really want to see the Samoan Dynasty. I'm gonna push for it every week. But I just have a feeling Kevin Dunn is not smart enough to do this because Kevin Dunn couldn't even book a Cinderella movie, and Kevin Dunn doesn't even know how to turn the TV on with the remote. And he doesn't even, if he has glasses, I don't know if he does, he probably puts his glasses on like this. This is how Kevin Dunn puts his glasses on, right, like that. So I have a feeling that's why they're not going to do it, because you have Kevin Dunn in creative and an added touch Vince McMahon. But I think this would be a great idea if you do this Samoan Dynasty group with all these members. You have Roman Reigns as the leader. Um, you have Roman Reigns with that championship, and I think if you do the Samoan Dynasty group, you have to get rid of the Shield attire and the Shield gimmick for Roman Reigns, and you have him be the way he was on NXT when he just came out in trunks, and have him come up with to some Samoan theme song, because it would make sense because they're a Samoan Dynasty, and you have to change up the Usos looks, and I think that the Usos could be great on the microphone if they have this gimmick too. Like it would really be good. And then you have Naomi, who's already doing great. The thing I love about Naomi as a heel right now, anyways, is I love it because is her theme song. Not just her theme song itself, because the theme song's pretty good. I've listened to it a lot, but that she jams out to a theme song and really gets into the theme song. I love that about Naomi, and I think that is great. And then you have Tamina Snuka, who could be the muscle of the muscle for Naomi of the group, anyways. But she can also wrestle in the group at times. And then you have the manager role be Rikishi, the father of the Usos, the father of Roman Reigns. I would like it to see be Sika, but I think Sika's too old to be doing that. Rikishi's the best option you would have as a manager role. And Rusev, this wouldn't bury Rusev, and you can get Rusev back to credibility. The thing is, maybe you would have to change Rusev's name, because I have a feeling if you just have him come out as Rusev, everybody remember his old gimmick. So, I just think that you would have to change his name, because I feel like if you just had him come out as Rusev, it wouldn't work. You would have to change it to maybe change it to whatever his real name is if it's in Samoan, or just change it to a different name. I don't know. And then you can, but it would really help out Rusev. And you have and you think you should have each guy each guy and gal hold a belt. You have Roman Reigns hold that WWE World Heavyweight Championship belt, and you have the Usos hold the tag team titles. You have Rusev, if he changes his name, hold the Intercontinental Championship, and you have Naomi hold the Divas title, and Tamina Snuka obviously unfortunately is not gonna have a belt, but whatever. But I think this could be really awesome stuff, dude. I really want to see this group now. This would be awesome. Do this group, please, 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 please. I'm sorry I spent so much time talking about this topic, but I really think this needs to happen. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm the only one that wants to see it. Let me get know in the comments section below if you really want to see this group of the Samoan Dynasty. This name makes sense because that's what they are. They're the Samoan Dynasty. Or you could call it the Samoan Legacy. You could call it the Samoan Family. One of those names. I like the Samoan Dynasty better. I think this would be awesome stuff. You don't even have to do it. No, you do it at Survivor Series. I think that's a good time, actually. But anyhow, let me move on to Raw before I continue to go on to this segment. So then, we have a segment that was so awesome that it was awesome. You have Curtis Axel, who is Axel Mania, who's playing Hulk Hogan's gimmick, versus Macho Mandow. Now, if you don't know who Macho Mandow is, it's Damien Sandow as playing the gimmick as... Oh, my Facebook just went off. But anyhow, it's Damien Sandow playing the gimmick as Randy Savage, and it really looked good. The reason why this match is happening is because on the break in the app, Damien Sandow was using Macho Mandow's gimmick. Well, no, Macho Man Randy Savage's gimmick, and he said he wanted to meet him in the ring, and it was really cool. Macho Mandow came out with Randy Savage's music. He came out with the robe. He came out with the hair and the trunks. He even taped up his wrist like Macho Man Randy Savage would. He even did the pose. He actually kind of looked like Randy Savage too. I think that was really good. I thought this was good stuff. To be honest with you, this was good stuff. I really enjoyed this. The match was going, the match in-ring components wise wasn't the best, but this match didn't really matter to me. I think when it comes down to Damien Sandow, he can just take a role and just nail it. He did it with the Mizdow gimmick. He did it with all the other gimmicks he had. This is why I love Sandow. He just takes the role that he's given, if it's going to be good or bad, and he just nails it and knocks it right out of not just the park. He knocks it out of the earth. So I think that's awesome stuff. Um, but the match is goes. But let me talk about the match. Macho Mandow is about to go off the top rope and do Randy Savage's elbow, but then the Ascension come out and they get on the mic and they talk about how they're the most dominant tag team in WWE. And they say that there's one thing that they hate. It's two people trying to play off two old people's gimmicks, which I thought is funny because they're playing off a gimmick of the Legion of Doom, which consists of Road Warrior Animal and Road Warrior Hawk, and at one point in time, Heidenreich was in that group later on. So I thought it was funny that they were doing that, and they said that they're going to put a stop to this right now, so they go to hit the win and attack Macho Mandow, but Macho Mandow fights him off, and he has Curtis Axel do Hulk Hogan's leg drop, which I thought was awesome. And then afterwards, he tries to go off the top and do the elbow, and um, on one of the Ascension members, I don't remember which one it was. And then he gets pulled out by the other one, and then afterwards they stand tall, and then it was kind of like it felt like it was like a Mega Powers reunion because Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage both were in a tag team called the Mega Powers, and it felt like that. And afterwards, Macho Mandow is gonna shake Curtis Axel's hand, and he does it just like Randy Savage would. And I thought that was awesome. This segment was so awesome that it was good. Now maybe I'm the only one that enjoyed this segment, but I am loving Damien Sandow in this role. Damien Sandow just takes a role and nails it. And to be honest with you, Curtis Axel's doing the same. To be honest with you, I would like to see them keep these gimmicks and make these two a tag team. And you call them like Macho Mania or something. Um, something like that. Macho Mania. Because he's being I want to say, I don't. I would say do something that would involve the Mega Powers, but I can't really think of a name that would maybe. Yeah, I can't really think of a name that would fit that, but maybe somebody in creative would, not Kevin Dunn, because has like Kevin Dunn's brain's no bigger than an ant, so can't be Kevin Dunn. But yeah, I think that that would be awesome. Um, if they did something like that, it is going to be a match on the kickoff with Macho Mandow and Curtis Axel versus well, they're not calling him Curtis Axel on that show. It's Macho Mandow and Axel Mania versus the Ascension. It's going to be a match on the kickoff, and I'm looking forward to that match just because of the awesomeness. Not the build up, not the in ring components, but just the awesomeness of those two together will be awesome. Not the Ascension. I mean, they've dropped the ball with the Ascension, but time in and time out. I will say, at least they got to cut an in ring promo and stuff together, but yeah, I do think this was awesome stuff. Um, I didn't expect this video to be long, guys. I'm sorry, by the way. So then we get Daniel Bryan comes out. He cuts his promo. Daniel Bryan comes out, and I thought he was pretty good here. He has the IC title with him, and he talks about how he has been having to go in and get MRIs. And they're not really sure like how long he's going to be out of action. It could be weeks, it could be months, or he might never be able to wrestle again. He talks about how like he wasn't really meant to be this mega superstar that he really is right now. The fans made him this mega superstar, and he has to thank the fans for doing that. And he talks about how last year it crushed him to see Stephanie McMahon strip him of the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, but he said he deserved it because you guys deserve a fighting champion each and every week on Raw and SmackDown, and that's exactly what you're gonna get because tonight Daniel Bryan relinquishes the Intercontinental Championship, and that was it. He relinquished the title. I thought this was kind of an emotional segment. It was a pretty good segment. Daniel Bryan was pretty good here, and I thought it was kind of sad. The only reason I could come up with though was why they had him relinquish the title is they're not sure whether or not he's gonna have to retire from it because because I I don't know why they'd have him give up the belt because you have Brock Lesnar who hold the WWE World Heavyweight Championship and really defended it. He only defended it like 3 times. and he was off. He went more than 30 days without defending it. Daniel Bryan could have just done the same thing, but I think maybe that they don't know the seriousness of his injury, so he wants to relinquish it. So that's the only thing I can come up with. I don't really know what the career status of Daniel Bryan is because neck injuries. It's not just Daniel Bryan, but with anybody, takes a toll on wrestlers. Um, a and it does. It's not just wrestlers. It's anybody. Football players, NBA players, baseball players, hockey players. Um, I guess I'm gonna say golf, but I don't really know how the hell you would injure your neck swinging a freaking club unless someone like hit you in the back of the freaking neck with a club. Um, but I think if someone hit you in the back with a club, it would damage your brain more than your neck. Um, and race car drivers, any sports, anything you do, even if like you fall off a ladder and well, actually, that kind of evolves around wrestling. Um, if you fall off the roof cleaning your gutters, um, and break your neck, that can take a toll on you. Neck injuries is not an easy thing to come back from. Um, when it comes to anything, so he might have to retire. He might never be able to wrestle again. Um, and if it means, you know, long term, because this is actually going to be a good thing because you have Edge, who had to retire from the neck injury, and if he didn't, he had the option. He could have kept wrestling, but if he didn't retire, he would spend the next few years in a wheelchair. Um, so that could, that's going to be the case with Daniel Bryan, I'd rather see Daniel Bryan be able to at least walk and feel right, rather than have him like be in a wheelchair. Um, so I hope if he does have to retire because of that reasons, it does suck, but it's better for his health. Um, if he can come back, I highly suggest Daniel Bryan, if you're watching this video, that you at least wait till you're 150%, because I feel like that you rushed your return when you did come back, and I feel like that you shouldn't do that again. Um, Now, I want everyone to realize that if Daniel Bryan no, regardless if he can come back or not, his wrestling ability is not going to be the same, because due to the fact that he's not going to be doing all these high flying diving moves that he does. Wow, I can't believe I just said high flying diving moves. Um, Due to the fact that it that he'll probably want to stay cautious because of his neck. So his wrestling ability is still going to be good. It's just not going to be great for everybody. I just want everybody to know that. Um, Overall, like I said, I thought this was a pretty good segment. So the next match, oh my gosh, it was Big E, New Day, versus Cesaro. It was Big E versus Cesaro. Cesaro, good match. Cesaro, the New Day did cut a promo. To be honest with you, I hate the New Day so much that when they came out, I took the pen that I was writing my notes with, chucked it across the room, and I lost the ink to the pen because of that. So that's how much I hate them. My cousin, to be honest with you, New Day, you made my cousin boycott. Um, you made my cousin boycott Raw because you mentioned that the Patriots should give up their Super Bowl win, which I don't really get how the hell you would give up a Super Bowl win. Anyways, you won the Super Bowl. It's gonna stay in the record books of the NFL. I don't know. That's just stupid. I mean, I've had to hear about this Tom Brady thing anyways. Um, I'm not really a big football fan, but if there's no video proof, I guess, of Tom Brady, I'm surprised they haven't gotten it anyways because of today's technology. But whatever, I don't even know. It's not my place to really give an opinion on it. If Tom Brady gets suspended, though, Kevin Dunn can go ruin his career. Well, I mean, he is suspended, but since Tom Brady is suspended, Kevin Dunn's probably gonna wanna be his butt buddy. Um, oh my gosh, Kevin Dunn, you really need to do something with your. Just can you just go away? Get out of wrestling. Get out of. Can you just go to like? You know what you should do? I was watching a Breaking Bad episode, Kevin Dunn. The thing that Kevin Dunn should do is he should make it so that nobody can ever find him again, because I don't want him to die, but I want Kevin Dunn to make it so nobody can ever find him, nobody can ever track him, nobody can find him. He's still alive, but I want to make it so that he's untrackable, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I don't want to hear or see Kevin Dunn ever again. I want Kevin Dunn out of the WWE. I want Kevin Dunn out of I just want him. I mean, I don't want him dead because I don't want to wish death upon someone, but I want Kevin Dunn out of this untrackable. I want to make it so I never have to hear about Kevin Dunn again. Um, and I think, that's the best way that I don't have to because that's better than saying I wish he was dead. I wish I could make him untrackable. And if you wonder where I learned that from, I learned that from Saul Goodman. Maybe Saul Goodman can make that happen. But to be honest with you, Saul Goodman's just an actor. But Saul Goodman, if you were a real lawyer, I would call you and have you make Kevin Dunn untrackable. I can't believe I moved on from Raw, to, you know, Kevin Dunn, to Breaking Bad. That's my ADHD kicking in. It's also the New Day's fault, by the way, and Kevin Dunn's, because I'm talking about the New Day. Anyhow, Cesaro beats Big E with the head scissors. They did announce at the pay-per-view that it's going to be Big E and Kofi Kingston defending the tag team titles against Cesaro and Kid in a 2 out of 3 falls match. The match should be good, but now I have to see... Now it's longer time that I have to see the New Day. So it's like a win-lose situation. It's more of a lose situation. So then the Primetime Players, they were doing their bit where they make fun of tag teams, but they didn't really do that in a way. They kind of paid tribute to the New Age Outlaws, which consist of the Road Dogg Jesse James and the Badass Billy Gunn. And they did stuff that I just did, but they would say, well, don't, Titus O'Neil would tell Daniel Young, don't do that, it's a PG show. And instead of saying, you better call somebody, they said, you better tweet somebody. And they pretty much said that they're going to become the next tag team champions. And we got 3 words for you. Millions of dollars. Millions of dollars. Millions of dollars. Yeah, that's 3 words. So, yeah. This show, it feels like my Raw review just derailed, by the way. But, yeah, I thought it was a solid segment, I guess. So then we get Bray Wyatt's promo. It was, I guess, a decent promo. He talks about Ryback, why he's targeted him, and he talked about how Ryback came back from that surgery, and he says that the reason he's talked about targeting Ryback is because he's in his way. What he means about it is, I think he's in his way from getting to, like, the main event or something. He talks about how Ryback is not an inspiration. I'm not sold on the feud. I mean, I think it's a decent feud. I think they should have gone a different direction with it. I think they should have had the reason being that Ryback attacked his brother Bo Dallas, and he doesn't have to necessarily say that his brother is Bo Dallas. He could just say that you attacked my family, and if you attack my family, you get like you get something that you get like an uncontrolled monster named Bray Wyatt or something like that. I think that would have been better. And then let's just say they have a match at Payback or something, and Ryback's about to win. You have Bo Dallas come out, and you have him join forces with Bray Wyatt, and you have them team up. And can you imagine Bo Dallas in that role? That would be amazing. It would be amazing. I would love it. But I thought the promo, I guess, was good. I just wish they'd gone a different direction with that feud. Then Ryback comes out, attacks Wyatt, hits a spine buster and the Miho clothesline on him, and then Wyatt escapes. I thought that was solid stuff. I actually think this is an interesting matchup too, just because they're both kind of big guys. Ryback's a muscular guy, and Bray Wyatt's a muscle fat kind of guy. So I think this is an interesting matchup. So then we get Randy Orton versus Seth Rollins. I thought this was a solid match. It was pretty good. Seth Rollins dives on Orton. Orton hits a superplex off the top. He hits a rope DDT on him. Rollins hits a roll-up and then a super kick on Orton, but he kicks out of both ends. And and then Orton tries to go for the RKO, and then Rollins mocked Orton too at one point to do when he was gonna by doing the pose when that Orton does when he sets up for the RKO. And then Randy Orton tried to hit the RKO on Seth Rollins, but J&J Security came out and attacked Orton, and they just beat the crap out of him. And then Kane comes out with a steel chair and just stands there. And then Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose fight off J&J Security, and then Dean Ambrose hits Dirty Deeds on Seth Rollins, and then afterwards, Roman Reigns, Ambrose holds up Reigns, and Reigns spears him, and then Reigns and Ambrose both hold up Rollins, and Orton hits an RKO on him, and then during all of this, Kane does nothing. He just stands there with the chair and just watches all of it happen. So I have a feeling at the pay-per-view, Kane's gonna get some sort of consequences, and if not at the pay-per-view, he'll get it on the next week's Raw. Maybe on SmackDown this Thursday. Seth Rollins will confront Kane about it. I have a feeling that's what's gonna happen too. And then afterwards, Roman Reigns spears Orton, and then Dean Ambrose lays out Reigns with the Dirty Deeds. And I thought that was good because Dean Ambrose has stood tall to finish off the show again. And it actually does prove that Dean Ambrose is a wild card to win this match because that's how they're hyping him up to be. And I think that's pretty awesome stuff. And I love the end of the show. It's pretty good stuff. Overall, I thought Raw was a pretty good show this week. I would give it a 6 out of 10. The only thing I really hated was the commentary and the New Day segment. That was about, and I think there was something else I hated too. No, that was about it. That was really all I hated was the commentary and the New Day segment. But yeah, and I guess Kevin Dunn has to contribute somehow to the show, and maybe that's Kevin Dunn's contribution, or however you say that word, the New Day. So the New Day is Kevin Dunn. I feel like the New Day, by the way, was like a teaser. Like Kevin Dunn made it look like that it was going to be like the Nation of Domination, but then he was like, "Oh, just kidding. I'm going to make it a joke." I wonder if he did that. You know, he was like, "Oops, sorry guys." But boy, I have to see. Overall, though, that's my review of Raw this week. To be honest with you, this is the most interesting review I think I've ever done for Raw. I think doing the Massasoit Wrestling Corner made me realize that it's good to be fun. It's good to be, well, I mean, I realized that anyways, but it made me more fun. It made me more fun to do these reviews. I don't even know. Like, I definitely feel like these reviews have definitely been different since this Raw review in particular is definitely different than other Raw reviews before I even started doing the Massasoit Wrestling Corner. So that's that. If you want to subscribe to my channel, you can click right here. Please do not subscribe to Kevin Dunn's channel because you're gonna hear a lot. If you want to hear someone talk crap about wrestling and be bad at it, that would be where you go check out Kevin Dunn. Yeah. Um, Overall, that's my review of Raw this week. I'll be back at some point this week to give you another video. I'm not really sure when. I have my day off of work tomorrow, so I'm gonna catch up on a lot of videos that I want to catch up on. I'm gonna do a Tough Enough review tomorrow, probably. And if you want to check out some non-wrestling content, you can go to my non-wrestling channel. I'll leave the link of it up there. It's called Owen the Talkinator. I talk about non-wrestling stuff. I don't even talk about wrestling. In a way I kind of like it because then Kevin Dunn can't ruin my non-wrestling enjoyment. So thank you for that. Unless Kevin Dunn went to book a non-wrestling show. To be honest with you, Kevin Dunn, go book a Cinderella movie. That's all I have to say. But other than that, see you later and stay away from Kevin Dunn.